This is the big picture. Digital transformation is a complex journey. What we need is to connect business strategies and innovation. Transform the process to deliver fast. Collaborate with experts in building your vision from concept to launch. Deliver the best experiences, from ensuring reliability to embedding quality in your culture. Take your business to the cloud, to grow and scale on demand, enabling you to thrive. Unlock your full potential using data-driven decisions to form real-time strategies. Deliver faster and more efficiently using AI-powered solutions. Possibilities are endless. Let's navigate this complex journey together by allowing us to speed up your transformation.
And now, welcome to this session.
This session, we have two speakers who share strategies for optimizing cloud workloads and reducing costs without compromising performance. They will cover key aspects of FinOps and provide actionable insights for businesses of all sizes. Our first speaker brings over 2 decades of expertise in IT consulting and innovation, currently leading cloud and data business at StratPoint Technologies. When he's not guiding organizations in their cloud initiatives, he serves on the Board of Trustees at the Analytics and Artificial Intelligence Association of the Philippines. Joining him is a seasoned product specialist and IT expert, with experience at leading system integrators and successful startups. Having built and exited a thriving SaaS product on AWS, he's passionate about helping customers optimize their cloud environments through automation. As the International General Manager at NOps, he brings a unique blend of application development and cloud infrastructure expertise. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Sunny Carlos and Mr. Satish Bora.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Sunny. So I'll be starting the session about cost optimization on the cloud. And with me here is my colleague, Satish Bora from NOps. So hope everyone is excited today. We have this hour, to share our knowledge. We can have Q&A later, but I'm going to start, and then Satish will take over. So let me share my screen. I hope I'm audible also. Yep, here we go. Okay, again, welcome. So our main title is automating your cloud optimization workloads, for in the cloud. So in this particular session, it's about AWS also. So and then we use a tool called NOps. Since StratPoint is sponsoring, this softcon together with AWS and NOps. So yeah, you've heard our introduction, so I'll dive straight into it. So, okay, so a quick one slider, to give context to everyone. So I wanted to start to give you all expectations and hopefully provide you with these goals upon finishing our session today. So cloud cost, as everyone knows, is very critical. It's a component of every business's operations, and we always budget for that, right? The CFOs. I assume most of the people here are IT folks, but we deal with CEOs, CFOs within our organizations. That's always ask us and see how this our AWS cost affects our bottom line. So we'll talk about that. So cost is a big perspective when it comes to the cloud, but I wanna cover it into two broader broader categories. No, so one would be to think of it as getting a better price for all your cloud resources by right sizing and the right purchasing options. And then along the way is to ensure that all your resources are consistently optimized now over time, because what we need really is cost optimization is not a one-time thing, no. And then as I mentioned, no, so I have a on the lower right section there, no, a drawing. It's a thing in an organization that it's not just the IT team's responsibility, it's not just the dev team's responsibility, but we have to involve both the business team and our finance team, no, especially the CFO, and then all of our accountants that manages all our AWS's invoice, no. So CFM is that that FinOps team in between. Sige. So, I want to introduce, from where I am first, no. So, this is the company that I represent, no. So, we're StratPoint, no. So, we've been here for 25 years. So, we have services on cloud consulting, data engineering, AI ML labs, no, and solutions. Of course, software development of mobile apps, web, and APIs, mostly custom and open source stack, and then a QA automation service. So what I cover and represent is both the cloud and data engineering businesses. So just on the left side is just the snippets of all our common technologies that we use, and the main cloud provider that we use and offer to our customers, which is AWS. Within AWS, so we're an advanced tier, consulting partner. So most of our really cloud engineers, DevOps engineers, and data and software engineers are certified, no. And then we did a lot of projects both locally here in the Philippines and then abroad also. So with AWS specifically, since we're talking about the cloud, no. So yes, we've been doing this for more than 10 years, 14 years, no, to be exact. So 2010. So because of our clients in Silicon Valley, AWS was born in 2006, no. We were doing AWS already even before they had an office here and presence locally in the Philippines, no. So that's where we grew up our consulting practice, becoming advanced, and being a top of mind partner of AWS, no, and giving us opportunities and helping business in general, no, to migrate and develop on the cloud. No. So with NOps specifically, so I'll just give a snippet about it later, but it's with Satish who will cover that part, no. So there are cloud partner when it comes to cloud management, no, and cost optimization or FinOps, no. And then last year, and then I have a use case later to tell about a European client that we did a major cost optimization initiative. Sige. So going to the cloud, no. So this is a typical, from our perspective as consultants, no? This is a typical journey, no, or roadmap, no, when we talk to our customers, because each of you that are here, I suppose, no, are coming from different entry points of going to the cloud. Either it's your first workload, or you're already mid or mature in AWS, no. So we have things that we can do for you, no. It's as long as we're in the cloud, we innovate, we leverage its benefits, no. There's something we can do. But particularly here, I want to talk about later, no, our cloud nav offering. So this is basically a concept within the AWS, group called well architected reviews, no, and then the 6 pillars, no, of AWS well architected review are these 6, no. Then we wanna focus on cost optimization. No? Of course, everything's important, no. everything needs to be checked once in your cloud operations, reliability. You have proper backup and DR. Security, of course, is day zero and then at most important to all companies. Performance efficiency and before there were just five pillars, no, of well architected, but companies now have initiatives, that are really inclined towards sustainability using green energy and such. No? But for today's session, yes, let's focus on cloud cost optimization. No? So you can converse and with your IT and CTO and CFO, no, leaders, no, on how you can help them within your organizations. So yep. So this is just if you don't know where to start, actually, no, there's a framework on AWS framework on well architected, no. We can also help you there, no. You can reach out to StratPoint, but this is a typically our engagement, no, on where we enter, no. We will do discovery sessions with you to assess your overall AWS environment and then give recommendations, no, to address those high risk issues on the six pillars, no? And then a remediation plan afterwards, no? So this is where we'll do discover, design, read out, and then report to you, what can be done, no, to improve your cloud environment. So there's a process of this on doing manually, especially when you try it yourselves. There's a framework within AWS that you answer a set of questions. But what we do typically, also this is in partnership with NOps, is we can automate. This is our title of the session, right? We can automate portions of that, especially on cost and security, and then give you the reports, and then we can do the remediations after. And then after, of course, it after those well architected review, we typically come in also, up to you, if you want to take StratPoint's cloud managed services, no? So we can be your cloud center of excellence team, no, if you're you have a small team, or you're just building from scratch, or totally let us help you manage your AWS environment so you can manage your business, no, and your development. So it takes off that burden, no, from you guys, and then we monitor and operate things on a 24/7 approach. Okay, so AI, no. So I know SoftCon, you've attended a lot of sessions already the past 2 days, and then every conference now has an AI, AI initiative. Every company wants to publish something about specifically Gen AI, no. So it's always about the top two that's being discussed, no, or prioritized, no. So this is a graph, no, from the recent Gartner report, no, on the primary focus of AI initiatives. So we all know it's we use Gen AI for marketing, customer experience, and that productivity. It's also opens, no, for companies a lot of revenue growth and then opportunities, no, so for them. But the third focus area or initiative when it comes to Gen AI can be pulled together when it comes to cost optimization. So uh, my suggestion is work with companies and then products that have this AI embedded features, no, that helps you either on productivity or revenue growth and then cost optimization. So this is what we like about NOps, no. We'll discuss it later. So it has AI features to help you cost optimize, no. It can lessen things that can be done manually. So we'll talk about that later, but it would be more on strategy session. Okay. And then on the adoption rate, when it comes specifically to cost optimization, also this is also a study, that we've done, or it was AWS initiated on what they think, are the top things that are really adopted when it comes to cost optimization. Of course, no, on the top three, no, we all know, no, that this is the natural mindset, right? right sizing of cloud resources. No, so especially when you're new to the cloud, you just want the biggest and then most updated, like EC2 instance or Kubernetes clusters, no, that that you feel no is safe no for you to consume. But sometimes, of course, with every increase, with every size, with every feature, it it comes with cost. And then depending on your application, no, if it's not right size, you may be really paying for something that you really don't need, no. So that's the first thing that kind of companies manually look like, no, when it comes to cost optimization. We can also attack cost optimization on pricing models, no. So we all know, or if you don't know, no, so the cloud providers has this pay as you go model, no. They have this list price, and then you pay as you use, no, like your our Meralco or our utilities, no. That's the model. But if you already identify the trends of your applications and then usage, no, so there are pricing models that are available also, no, that when you buy, in essence buy in bulk, it can be discounted, no. And then plus when you work, for example, with a partner like StratPoint, no, we have partner benefits and discounts and programs that we can pass on to the customer, no, to give you additional savings on that. On-demand elastic cloud usage. So this is more on being more elastic, uh, excess capacity, and the fifth is very important also, no, serverless computing. So this is more advantageous if you're, for example, more mature in terms of development, in terms of company status, no. You can leverage the Lambda features of AWS. That's even cheaper, right? When you just call functions and then it charges you per call, no, rather than opening up a reserved EC2 instance, no. So this is practiced on the developer side of Angular. That's why it's quite, adoption is smaller because it requires uh, thorough, no, or a more mature development practice. And then lastly, once you're in the cloud and then you think you've really made everything serverless, made everything containers. So there are still initiatives, no, that are on more on the modernization angle when it comes uh, to AWS workloads and services, because that can be daunting that they have lots of services and features, no. So you have to also look into that. Sige. And then focus areas, no. So I think, yeah, from my perspective, cost optimization can be broken into five focus areas, no. So and then each of these five focus areas really has best practices around them, no. So it's practicing cloud financial management or FinOps. Again, the very important thing is to work with the business and other stakeholders in the company. Expenditure and usage awareness, cost-effective awareness. So it's not just the cloud team only, but the developers also should be mindful on when they develop, when they build, is it cost optimized. And then manage demand and supply of resources. So for example, lots of companies are experimenting AI workloads, right? So there are services available that are tailored to that, and then like spot instances that are very much cheaper, no, and then it's tied on to that. Even the database types, no, for example, of AWS, no. So each of them has their own pricing models and features and best fit to use, no. So that's something, no, to think about on best practices. And then the fifth bullet, no. So this is very important. Again, I want to reiterate that cost optimization is really a journey. No, it's not just a one-time thing. You have to monitor and really track your savings over time, because you save, right? But companies don't stop innovating, right? They don't stop building new applications and development, right? So there's still consumption on cloud growth there, no. So you have to better distinguish what is saved and what is used for innovations and things like that. Okay. So yeah. So this is just a reminder slide also that cost optimization, you have to shift in mentality. What it's saying here is it's not just about, coming to your leaders, yes, Sunny, reduced our AWS spend and bill, no. So but it's just one component, no. This is the cycle that always happens, no. Bill increase, companies or CFOs and CEOs will mandate you, let's cost optimize, no, and then repeat and rinse, no. But you have to consider also other factors that, every initiative that when it comes to software engineering has cost. And then really it's breaking the mindset when it comes to, it's just a P&L bottom line at the end of the day. So then there's more to that really. So we have to really shift, and or you have to within your companies, influence the culture of that mentality. Thus, no, so this is like a more mature, cycle, that we do when it comes to, FinOps or cloud financial management. Of course, there's planning involved in everything now. So analyzing your environment, using all the default services that AWS has. No, of course they have, AWS budgets when you can set. And then they have alarms. They have pricing calculators. No, these are the native, no, the native stuff within AWS that you can do, and then run, and then the C here part is monitoring always, what's happened, what's for innovation, what was saved, and such. It's splitting, the perspective. So what was saved and what we do, and then rinse and repeat, So, but most of this, yes, you have to have a mature cloud team to look into this, sometimes also, it depends on the push, of management or leadership, if you really do value spending. But again, this session is about uh, no, the principles of cost optimization, but further would be, how can we automate further? No? So we can discuss, what can be done. No? So everything manual is of course being done BAU, but things that we can do with AI, with NOps, with other tools. No? This is what we will practice. No? So again, so I'll give a snippet of it. So in essence, so NOps is a cloud management platform. So they're our partner when it comes to FinOps. So the business model of NOps, is different, or unique compared to the other, SaaS products out there. So there's you don't need to invest or pay immediately. So their pricing model is you can try NOps, and then from what you save, the percentage of, the savings from NOps, that's, the portion of it is, charged back to them. And then all those savings that you can declare to management, you can now, say, and then we use this for innovation stuff, within the cloud. So this is the model. And then it has the right automations, to hibernate resources, parts of the well architected framework that I talked about. It can be automated there. And then this product is really built, by people who are very cautious on cloud cost optimization. So it's a CFN team that really has been immersed in AWS, has studied a lot of other FinOps products out there, to really, deliver, what us customers, so even StatPoint, is an AWS customer, are looking for, when it comes to cost optimization. So, and then beyond cost, again, applying the well-architected pillar, NOps can also do more, on security, compliance, change management, developer ecosystems, and things like that. So, we want to, make use of the tool, for accountability and governance of every cloud resource and dollar spent on it, basically. Okay, so I'll jump into just one case study, and then I'll turn over to Satish. So this is how StratPoint, help, our European client of ours, with their need on cost optimization. So actually, their need started with cost optimization. So this is the story here. So if you search Solutions 30, they're technology field services company that's very big in Europe. No, they have field technicians on what they call no, like to help the telcos company there, like here in the Philippines, like install broadbands. No, they have technicians on energy that install solar panels and all. So that's kind of their business and retail also. So they're already on AWS, no. So they came to us, no, asking StratPoint, no, what can you do for us, no, to further, diminish, no, or diminish our cost or that things that we spend on AWS, no. So they're I think about close to 200,000 euros, no, per month. That's what they kind of are paying, no, by default to AWS, in all their workloads, no. So they kind of give us a target, no. StratPoint, if you can just really, save us 20 to 30%, no, on our AWS cost, no. So that savings can be put on to other projects, no. So, within the initial engagement, we kind of did that. No? So, of course, we deployed our cloud AWS consultants and then implemented, the cloud nav and the cloud cruise service of StratPoint. And then we also used, no, and I suggested to them to use NOps. No? Anyway, it's risk-free, right? Let's try this. It's pay for what you save and see it from there. No? And then born out of that project, no, so we've also helped them modernize, right, and then migrate the other next workloads, no. So they saw savings on that, and now they decided, let's exit, no, the data center on-premise servers that we have in the countries in France and move them all to AWS. So that's also an ongoing project with them, no. So while migrating, we're doing cost optimizations also. Very important here also. So before coming in, since there's a pillar on well architected, right, on security. If you Google, no, there's a framework or a benchmarking called CIS score, no, so Center for Internet Security. So with that questionnaires or assessment, it gives you a score, no, on your security posture. So before the engagement, it's just at 20%, right? In terms of security compliance. So no, for example, no MFAs, very open, networks, no, so things like that. So with the service also that we did, no, so we kind of increased that to about an 80 score, which is very important to CISOs, no, for chief security officers also, especially if you're on the cloud, no, and then you're already kind of maturing into it. So yeah, so this is what we did. So we did NOps. So cloud runway here is the first step of the cloud journey. We also enhanced their AWS environment. We call the AWS landing zone also. So structuring the AWS environment accounts, no, from billing to the business units, no, on the charge box and all. They also have a lots of Kubernetes workloads and pods, no, that needs to be auto scaled, no, and optimized. And then of course, set up a monitoring solution, no, for them, no, on all the logs, no, and infrastructure logs and metrics, and helping them on DevOps also, no. At least with the cloud engineering piece, no, infra as a code is the default thing that we do, no. So that we can reach out to us, though it's a totally separate topic, but basically coding, no, or making your infrastructure provisioning not click ops, no, or not clicking AWS provision, but very code and pipeline specific, no? And then yeah, the final results, no. So on an ops perspective, so we month on month we save with them a range about 25 to 33% of their AWS bill, no. So that's imagine that's a lot, no, on a 200 almost 200K per month euro billing, no. So that's around 50 to 70,000 euros a month that can be allocated somewhere else. So yes, so to give my key takeaways before I pass on the floor to Satish, I wanted to reiterate, no, so cloud, practice really cloud financial management, no, with a CFM team. So that CFM team would be, us IT people, and then the business team as well as the finance team, no. So it works best, no, if you're all on the same page or have cadences with them to discuss really your savings, and then even just your regular usage on AWS or the cloud. Adopt a consumption model, measure efficiency. So important, no, I mentioned this is a recurring thing, no, cost optimization is a recurring thing. So you have to measure efficiency month to month, and then the ways of how you did things, no. At the end of the day, stop spending money on on doing manual things, no. So if you free up space on that, no, that productivity can be moved to somewhere else, no. Analyze expenditures, no. Work with and automate. Of course, it's best to work with AWS also as a cloud provider, but we always, as consulting partners, call this the power of three, no. Of course, AWS is there, the public cloud provider. NOps is the AWS technology partner, and StratPoint is your AWS consulting partner, no, that can help you, on these things to achieve, whatever cloud needs that you have. Okay, so that's it for me, at least for my half. No, I'll turn the floor over to Satish. No, so we can discuss this session. So I'll stop my screen share.
Thanks, Tony. Let me share my screen and hope everyone is able to see my screen. Um, thanks for joining this session. I think this is a afternoon lunch session. I hope everyone is awake. Uh, I will not basically get into too much of theory, but I think what I was going through is the some of the questions which was posed by the uh, audience. I think that some of them are like really great questions, and I will see how can I can try to cover that questions in this next 20 minutes where I'm going to address this. Just to quickly set the context, what is NOps? NOps is a automated cloud optimization platform. We are basically AWS partner in various capacities. We have multiple competencies. We are a SOC 2 Type 2 certified organization. And as we speak, we process the billions of dollars of cloud spend through NOps and helping the customers worldwide to kind of optimize their workload in a completely automated way. One of the finding what we have seen in the cloud is that there is a waste part, which is like there are resources, there are basically servers which is running, and nobody knows who has launched it. Most of the customers we try to work with, there is a minimum 20% or above compute runs on demand pricing, and that is something which we are talking about experience. And if you can see what Gartner is recommending is also one of the facts. I saw some of the questions which kind of people were asking, and exactly this is what this slide talks about. What happens is when you move from your on-prem to the cloud, many times what happens is the customers basically carry the same culture as if like they have bought the infrastructure onto the cloud. They forget that they are moving from a capex model to the opex model. So what is essentially is that as you move to the cloud, you need to adapt to the cloud culture wherever basically see that only things required for you are getting used. Something which is not getting required, you can just terminate or get rid of that. That's one of the another thing. I also saw questions where people were asking about how basically we integrate with our finance or overall with the team. Absolutely. Getting the teams buying, getting the team accountable is very, very important. And it's not that difficult as you many times thinks. Okay, as long as you have a complete visibility of your infrastructure and the automation in place, you will be able to do these things. As everyone knows, as you move to the cloud, because it's easy to spin up, and then as people can start any instances from any corners of the world, it's become difficult to manage. As number of resources grows, it becomes complex and time consuming, and then at times it's expensive and wasteful, because unless you have the visibility, unless you have the control, it becomes very, very difficult. So what's kind of happening is the most of the times you are trying to kind of doing the RCA or a post-mortem of the things, rather than you are actually forecasting, or rather than you are taking the actions. What basically important aspect which you want to really do is get that visibility almost on the real time, so that you know what's happening within your cloud environment and how you can control the things. Many times there is a kind of a thought process that we have the DevOps team, we can do this all manually. But I think it's also important in this AI world as to where to focus the energy, and what are the tasks, what are the areas which you want to automate. Many times people ask the questions, why automations? I think yes, absolutely, that's a good question, but I think it provides some many advantages. So first of all, in the cloud, if you see, there are like maybe 100+ services. If I go precise, if I talk about the different regions, type of instances, it can go into few hundreds. So definitely doing that manually is going to be a prone to errors. It's not something any one single person will be able to do it. Another challenge is like a manual, people will say that, okay, I'm going to do this, I will find out this, then we can do this. It's kind of a really, really tricky, out of the sight, out of the mind. It kind of happens. As you might be seeing that getting the right skill resources is another big challenge. So automation kind of helps you to make sure that there is something which is repeatable, and provide you a single version of truth validation. Because at the end of the day, if you are an IT leader, if you are representing particular organization, and you are basically looking into the data, you want to know that whatever the data I'm looking at is exactly what my cloud infrastructure is. So how to handle that? I think important aspect, there is a principle called ephemeralization, which is nothing but what we are trying to achieve by the AI. It's like how can we use the technological advancement to do more and more with less, until eventually you can do everything with nothing. So yeah, we may not be able to go to the nothing stage, but why can't really we automate? Why can't we really make that automation work, so that 95, 80%, whatever that percentage of the work is done with the automation, and you are only working on the key stuff. Another part of the automation, another part of the basically optimization, is how you can shift left. So shift left is a concept, like one is a, what is happening is a, there is an application team which is using a cloud environment, and then it is getting deployed, and then you are able to see what's kind of happening. And many times what happens is you will basically realize the cost increase only when something is deployed. It's like a, many times it becomes too late, because the things are already in production. So shift left is the approach where you can actually detect that early. Can that be a part of your deployment, that you upfront know this particular deployment, how much like cost increase is going to happen? So that way, what you are doing is you are trying to control the things at the start only. So that's a very, very important concept, and it's something the matured organizations are able to do it. with the automations, with the integration of NOps. I think Sony talked about some of the things from this, how you save cost, whether it's getting a better rates, getting a basically what is required, like elasticity of the cloud. But I would say the very important thing is if you are serious about cost optimization, that should reflect from your basically actions. So what is kind of happening is many organizations say that they want to optimize, but they lack the prioritization, which is very important. That should reflect in your action, that should reflect in your decision making. Just to give the example, NOps provides you a complete automated discovery for your cloud workload within like a 30 minutes time. Now, what happens is, I understand you want to understand what kind of access is required and what is that. But I see the teams, people take maybe a few weeks or at times few months to take that call. So you need to really prioritize that. You need to involve the team so that it's a team responsibility and nothing like a one single person, so that it helps you to do that. I think, yes, there was some questions about what are the different possible automations. It starts with your CI/CD integration so that you are able to get the projection about the basically whatever the cost, which is kind of going through the stuff. You can talk about RI automation, making sure that your complete on-demand workload is covered with the commitments in an automated way, or you are leveraging a intelligent scheduler which can help you to start, stop, right size the devices, or based on the your workload, you are leveraging the spot instances so that you are getting 50, 70, 90% discount. So there are so many automations which is kind of possible, and good part is NOps helps you to provide this kind of automations in the platform, and literally you can start with a few clicks. Another important aspect is the FinOps, which is a kind of I think everybody is aware as you are into the cloud. FinOps is a key aspect which kind of help you to ensure that you are following certain framework, certain process, so that you are aligning to the best practices. Many times what's happened is like, by the word FinOps and by going through some of the website, people feel it's only for the large companies. It's not for small companies, or it could be a difficult to implement. It may require people who are certified. It may require like a upfront investment. And many times, because of this all possible things, they will say, okay, I will do it in next financial year, next quarter, all that aspects. So it's not really that difficult to implement the FinOps. What essentially you required if you are really want to implement the FinOps as a part of your organization is you need to understand what is that framework talks about, which is nothing but inform. Inform is nothing but getting the complete visibility of your infrastructure along with the drill down ability. Then you have the optimize, which is nothing but platform or that automation is providing you the different dashboard reports opportunities so that you can optimize that. And the last part is the operation, to make sure that, as Sony mentioned, it's not a one-time process, on an ongoing basis, how you ensure that, so that on a constant basis you get that visibility. So I think what we have seen is why automation. Then we talked about what are the different automations. We talked about as to what is the FinOps you can set up, what is the key ingredients. The challenge is like people know about that now. For example, there are many people who are maybe representing different large IT organization, maybe a SaaS products. The The challenge comes is like getting started. They have heard this about this webinar. They got to know that this is quite easy to get started. But then important aspect is how you can take that next step. So I think what ANOPS can help you is ANOPS can help you to provide that quick assessment. So you can get assessment via basically get signed up to the ANOPS through the AWS marketplace. It's a basic AWS managed read-only access through which you will get signed up. And once you signed up, what ANOPS will do is ANOPS will provide you a different dashboards, which will provide you as to what is the area like where you can save the cost by getting your complete compute on discount, which could be covering your on-demand workload with the reserve instance saving plan, or running your Kubernetes or autoscaling groups on a spot instances. Or another important aspect is the removing the waste part, which could be finding out which are the resources which are like lying around, which nobody is using, or there are over provision resources, there are old like a storage class your team is using, or for example the non-prod environment which you may not want to use 24/7, and you want to leverage the visibility and automation so that you can start stop that non-prod environment during weekend, nighttime, or holidays. The good part is ANOPS provides a complete FinOps cycle. So if you look at, it covers the inform part, which will provide you a complete visibility of your environment. It will provide you automation so that basically you can optimize your infrastructure. And the last part, which is nothing but the operate, to make sure that you are well architected all the time. If you are, let's say, migrating from on-prem to the cloud, tracking that migration, or if you are an organization where compliance, regulatory aspects are important, it can help you to kind of take care of that part as well. So ANOPS kind of helps to do that. What I will do is now is I'll take a minute. I know we are almost top of the hour. I'll just take a minute because I'm based on the questions. What I saw is there is a lot of interest to understand. So this is the AWS marketplace where people can subscribe to the ANOPS platform and they can get signed up to the like a $0. It's a free platform. They run the setup. ANOPS will start populating this dashboard, the one which I mentioned, Compute Copilot, as to how much money you are going to save on that front. Then they can get Essential, which will talk about what are the areas where they can remove the waste part. Somebody was asking about the security or basically all the different things. ANOPS provides you all the pillar view so that you can see what are the opportunities to improve upon so that you can basically remediate this opportunities or improvement areas. There was a question about how you can allocate the cost. ANOPS provides you the showback so you can allocate the cost. You can make sure that every single dollar is accounted for, and there is a complete cost governance which you can implement within your organization. There could be possibilities. Some of the examples I saw that there are a multi-department kind of setup, how you can make sure that every department is charged in a perfect way. Yes, you can leverage the chargeback. You can create a different departments-wide budget and make sure that they are kind of aligning to that. And if there are any challenges, there will be a alert which will kind of get triggered. Another important aspect is as a compliance thing. If you want to comply with a certain regulatory standards, you can leverage that. So that's the quick thing from my side. over to Sony for the next things.
Yeah, so I think we can answer, no? So Q&A here, no? So there's quite a number, no, of questions, which is very good, no? It shows interest and your you know uh your responsibility that you want to cost optimize. Probably we can select some those with better upvotes, no? I think that's Satish, we can cover a bit of those questions, no? So for example, how can we effectively allocate cloud costs across different departments or projects within your organizations, no? So let me take my angle on this, no? So yes, so you can use tools that could allocate uh, you know uh, based on accounts, no? So we have a solution called, or AWS also has a solutions called control tower or AWS landing zone, no? So it's part of our cloud runway solution. So what it does is we can look at your AWS environment on an account perspective. For example, you're a big conglomerate, right? It can be structured as your main, your main head office has the billing account, and then your child companies has their own AWS account, no? It can be built, no, or rebuilt, no. The AWS environment can be rebuilt on that angle, no. So you can see which companies, or if you're a conglomerate, which companies uses this much AWS spend, and then if you're a smaller company, we can design the account structure wherein you have a big AWS, a main AWS, billing account, and then the child accounts would be your business units. So, for example, the innovation team, or the retail team, or the cloud team, like for example, or data team, they have their own, AWS accounts, no, and then it rolls up, no. Uh, that's for departments, no, but for projects, no, there's a best practice also, no, wherein your engineers, no, should be able to tag, no, resources, no. So there's a tagging policy, or method within AWS wherein you tag easy to, this easy to, or this database to, for example, finance, no, and then this application. But it's mostly done, with thought in mind and very manually. But there's also, Satish, right, a feature in NOps when it can help you with tagging policies, uh, that can automate that. So that can be, addressed also. See. Hope that
Yeah,
answers
absolutely.
uh,
Yeah, I think what NOps also provides is the ability to kind of create this kind of a complete view where you can create the different department projects, you can allocate the cost. And I think one of the challenges is the allocation of shared costs, whether it's, let's say, a marketplace cost or maybe some data transfer cost, how you can allocate like this thing. So NOps provides the ability to allocate that by percentage or maybe by like a custom thing. So you decide how you want to do that. So you can literally use the show back feature to kind of
mm,
allocate this cost and get this complete visibility.
yeah. Okay. Do you want to answer this next question, Satish, on usage metrics, with Azure Monitor or AWS NOps as this? Uh, so first, no, NOps, is tailored for AWS, no. AWS also has their own, monitoring dashboards, no, that you can use, but NOps has more features, no. I can say that can help you utilize this, no. But go ahead, Sadish, if you want to add on to this, on
Yeah,
right
I
size.
think I think yeah, I think the important aspect is what NOps does is the NOps basically provides you the complete visibility as to what is the likely saving you are going to achieve, and it will essentially help you to automate this complete process. So you don't need to worry about going through multiple pricing plans, understand and all that. You see what is the likely saving achieved, you just enable that automation one time, that's all. After that it's completely autopilot, where NOps will help you with the complete better price for your infrastructure. so that you can leverage that. And it will also provide you ability to right size based on your workload patterns. And again, with a click of button, you will be able to right size. You can schedule that as well. So everything is something which you can do that.
Yeah, yeah. So I think there are related questions, no, towards the end, no, that are, checking if they can analyze and then like recommend, right, unused cloud resources, no. So yes, NOps has that feature, no, that it will analyze your resources. If they see that these instances are not being used, so much, they can give recommendations, for you to downsize or even turn it off, no. But of course, gives you that report, no. But it you know it's also up to you, no, to work with the applications and the product teams to decide if you will turn it off. But yes, it has that, and then once you turn it off, for example, it tells you how many dollars, potential savings can be saved. Yeah. I think that's a related question. Do we have time for a couple more, Ain or June?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the initiative to
Mhm.
ask the questions, the most upvoted questions. Actually, I think we still have time for one last question before we can end this session. Uh, Here, I think one another upvoted question is how can we optimize our cloud migration costs while managing our financing commitments?
Okay. You wanna take this, Satish? Can we optimize our?
Yeah, I think if you look at the migration, typically this public hyperscalers provide some benefits on the migration. So you typically get the credits when you are going through this migration. The good part is one of the challenge to maximize the credits is to basically track your workload and making sure that they are tagged rightly to maximize the funding. So NOps help you to kind of track your migration so that you can maximize the credit. That's one aspect. The second aspect is that when you are actually migrating, one of the challenge most of the companies face is they start migrating, but at times they lack the visibility as to what's happening. So the migration kind of projects kind of get extended, or they start with a one, whether it's a 1 year, 3 year, whatever that, they start with certain things and then they stuck because there is a like some surprises come into the picture because of the fact that they don't have the tracking or that visibility right there. So what you can do is as soon as you signed up the basically any migration agreement, what you should do is you should leverage a platform like NOps, which can help you to track like whenever the account is created. So it will provide you the visibility, how many accounts are created, what are the new resources are getting launched and stuff like that, so that you are able to kind of fast track and making sure that you are completing the migration journey in the given time, so that you are not double spending, as well as you are also maximizing the credits.
All right. Thank you, Sir Satish and Sir Sonny. Okay, we can have last two questions na lang pa kasi medyo marami pang questions actually na not answered. So our next question from Justine Salazar. Regarding the ops scheduler, does it have governance wherein administrators can allow app teams to manage their resources? This can be helpful for urgent tasks to avoid dependency on the admins.
Absolutely. So ANOPS provides a complete amazing view where anybody can see all the schedules which is there, and the whole purpose of that is that the DevOps team doesn't get affected if somebody wants. Let's say I have shut down my UAT lab, and then in the night I require to work on that. With a one
Mhm.
click, they can start the UAT lab, work upon that, and again stop that. So
Mhm.
definitely, that's a complete control is there. There are like a member admin level access, and with a click of button they can start, they can stop, so it doesn't affect their working. And that's where I think DevOps team loves it, because it's not like it is shut down now they need to worry how to start and all that. It's completely flexible and completely in their control. to start stop.
All right. Thank you, Sir Satish. Okay, one last question from Pat de Borja. What are some common pitfalls organizations face when implementing automated cost optimization strategies, and how can they be avoided?
I can just add a couple of things. One is the first and foremost is the decision making. You need to be really fast, because if you delay maybe a couple of months, you are actually lost the possible optimization, possible saving for that year. So the delta, that impact you are going to create will lost. So that is the first, like having the quick decision. The second thing is that within the optimization, once let's say you onboarded to the platform like ANOPS, what is important is you also need to kind of attack in a phase manner. So for example, certain automations you can leverage right away, which doesn't require any like a maybe inputs or any consultation with your actually DevOps team. So you may want to start that immediately. For other parts, what you do is you run maybe a small POC for other parts, and then kind of basically extend to the whole thing. The third important aspect is the how you democratize the whole process. So what is important is that everybody who is going to basically part of the team, everybody has to have the access. And when you like onboard to the tools, what you can do is you can create a accountability by setting the budgets for their teams, so that what will happen is there is a ownership, and there is a basically action to make sure that they are following that. So these are the top three, I would say, which is can help you to make sure that your automation journey can be accelerated and you start seeing the results within a first month itself.
Anything to add, Sir Sunny, before we end the session?
Uh, yeah, so I think yeah that's Satish mainly captured it, but
Mhm.
just to add, of course, it's also important, no. I just want to highlight, to work with the partner team as well as AWS itself, no, because
Mhm.
we already have the playbooks, the best practices to do this, no. Innately, no, we have it in mind that we want you to save, no. So that's us also best, no, especially on if you don't know where to start, no? So
Mhm.
uh, yep, that's just it for me.
All right. Thank you again, Sir Sunny, and thank you, Sir Satish. Once again, guys, let's show our appreciation to both our speakers this afternoon. I'm sure that there are still a lot
Mhm.
of questions left to be answered, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that you can communicate with our speakers offline outside this session. So feel free to message our speakers outside of this particular session. So it's still they can still be available at AirMeet. And once again, don't forget to rate this session. If you enjoyed the session, please rate the session and the speakers for this session. Okay. And I'll see you in the next session. Once again, thank you, Sir Sunny and Sir Satish. And thank you so
Mhm.
much, guys, for joining us this afternoon. See you next session.